It is election day. And we all have a choice to make. There's no doubt about that. This choice wasn't easy. It wasn't. I think a lot of people think, well, you're on talk radio, so all you're going to do is vote for people on the right. I vote for left and right. I'm very independent in how I think and how I vote. Always have been, always will be. It's the California in me. You know, got some of those liberals in there. Yeah, you know, maybe. But I will tell you, this was a tough one. When I look at Kamala Harris, I don't hate her. When I look at Donald Trump, I don't hate him. Why should I? I don't know them. But there was something about the last several years that has driven me crazy. Donald Trump, by the way, drives me absolutely crazy all the time. Let me talk about a flawed candidate. My God, where do we start? Uncouth, says crazy crap all the time, lies about the dumbest things in the world. He is flawed as flawed gets. There's no doubt in my mind. That being said, a lot of lies about him. A lot of things I was told turned out not to be true, that the world was told that turned out not to be true. When he airs his grievances, which he does way too much, pisses me off. He can pick a fight with his own shadow, which drives me crazy. He can absolutely make a situation that should be easy harder than it should be. But 2020 debate. Joe Biden said, I, within the first 100 days, are going to send down a bill that will start a pathway to citizenship to legalize 11 million people. At that moment in time, I turned to my buddy. We were doing the show together, big debate show, and I said, I could never, ever vote for him. And this was during the insanity of COVID and all that stuff. And he said, why? I said, because of what it would do to our nation. As we know, Biden won. And yes, Trump, you lost. Then January 6th happened. Not happy. Not blaming everything on you. People have to take responsibility for their own actions. You, along the way, though, absolutely played a lot of the game. Then, open borders, nonstop. Absolutely chaotic at the borders. Coming from a border state in Arizona, watching hundreds of thousands and millions of people pour across the border. Then watching it become a political football, where then blue cities and states were going, oh my God, this is all happening, and people being shipped to now swing states. But they got a border bill done. A flawed border bill that would still allow 2+ million people in here on a yearly basis, that even John Fetterman said, yeah, there's a pathway to citizenship in there. There's only one reason that they want to do that. Fundamentally change our country. And it would. It would fundamentally change our country and turn us from a two-party country to a one-party country. And the thought of us getting back to a two-party country, that'd be ways away. Because at that point in time, the Democrats would have legalized enough people that they believed would be subservient to them in their voting. Because they'll say, we are your conquering heroes, so we need your vote. That's one. That's a big one. That enough is a big one. The expanding of courts. Sorry, you didn't get what you wanted. That is something I've always said about Trump. Say all the things you want about Trump. His lasting impression, at least at this moment in time, is the Supreme Court. There's no doubt that is the legacy side of it. Yes, January 6th and all that stuff, you've got to take it all in, COVID, all of it, but definitely the court. How about wars? Let's start there with number 3. The wars. They did not invade under Trump. And you can call them, Putin is his puppet. Have you maybe thought that's not really true? Have you maybe thought that maybe, just maybe, even if it's a tiny little bit of thought, that this guy's a bit unhinged, that maybe I'm not going to step on Ukraine? They did it with Obama in Crimea. They did it with Biden in the full invasion. They didn't do it under Trump. Peace in the Middle East. It was pretty quiet. We didn't start any new wars. That was kind of nice. October 7th happened. And now we have a feckless leader and a woman who's caught between a rock and I don't know place what to do at a time when there's way too much instability in a region that is waiting to blow its top off. And while this is all going on, Iran continues to strengthen themselves. And then you get to the filibuster. They've said, we need to look at the filibuster. We need to look at getting rid of it. No. So your dream for the one-party state / country, because that's what it would become, see California, to a situation where even if you could get 50 senators for Republicans, if we got rid of the filibuster and we have a national race that we will never lose because we've rigged it in such a way through illegal immigration, making them citizens, and all of a sudden, you really have a one-party country. Yeah, that's something that's a bridge too far for me. I think for most people, if we think about it, Trump is absolutely flawed. He really is. He is a giant pain in my ass at times. I don't want to defend a lot of the stuff he says. At the same time, I've got to defend it because the reality is they've lied. This past week, he wants to kill Liz Cheney and put her on a wall and execute her. That was a lie. The very fine people, a lie. Russia, an absolute lie. Let's not forget the fact that you had so many people inside of the agencies working together to make sure last time that he didn't win. And that couldn't be for his benefit, could it? No, it's for their benefit. Trump is flawed across the board. I wish there were other candidates. Not that I don't like his fighting, not that I don't like the fact that he, puts up a fight when he needs to, because I think some of that is good. I think all too often the media has walked all over the Republicans and they haven't had a mouthpiece, and they got one. And he gave that to a lot of people in flyover country, a mouthpiece. As I've said, for the first time, they got to be the nail. They got to be the hammer instead of the nail, which is what they were used to being. He's flawed across the board. But when I look at this and I say, these are my choices, there's only one choice. The choice that wants to have peace and not war, that wants to strengthen our border, that's not afraid to look at other countries like China and elsewhere and say, no, I'll use tariffs on you. And everybody freaks out, not understanding it. It's a negotiation. It's not an ending point. I want somebody who is willing to do the ugly things as a leader, because I'm not voting for a pal or a friend. So there you go. That's why Trump. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show. It's your Twitter, your Instagram, all the other things. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com/Chad. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9, all of this incredible stuff packed into an amazing supplement that I give my dogs and I give my cat on a daily basis. This stuff is amazing. It has helped them tremendously. With my older dog, Doodle, who since passed away, he got an extra 5+ years, and I say this all the time, only because of Rough Greens. It helped him with his aches and his pains and his hips. I got that spinach and stuff in there. It's going to help big time. For our cat, oh, my God. Lightning Kitty. That's what we call him. His name's Angus. Looked like he got struck by lightning because of all of his bad allergies. Now he looks like just a giant fat cat, which I'll take over Lightning Kitty. Got the cone of shame off. If your cat struggles maybe with issues with skin and fur, maybe your dog has issues with lethargy and aches and pains in their joints, try Rough Greens or Meow Greens now. All it's going to cost you is shipping. It is a free bag coming to you. It's a jumpstart bag. You just sprinkle it on top of your dog or cat's food. Watch what happens. ruffgreens.com/Chad. 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 Chad Benson Show.